morning. Good morning. It's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook, and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for this week ahead. That's this week starting Wednesday, the 30th of August, through till Tuesday, the 5th of September 2023. So I love these weeks when we transition over to a new month. It's certainly been a very interesting week. We had our theme last week of the Spirit Dragon, which was heightened energy. They were heightened, at least for me. So how's your week been? Or how's your week going if you're still in the week? So before we start, I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Wednesday the 30th of August here, and it's just past 8:30, so it's 8:35 a.m. a.m. here. So welcome. If you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my combined Speed of Light Oracle cards that have been combined with my Animal Kingdom Oracle. Oh, there's the Spirit Dragon. And they've been combined to make a 110 card deck that I'll be using for our guidance today. So I'm not pulling cards for individuals. This is general guidance for everyone. So I trust you've been led here for a reason, and I trust that something shared supports you at this time and hopefully for the week ahead. Please take on board what feels right and what resonates and what fits into your life easily, and let the rest go. So, I just dropped the gorilla, which I didn't even know I dropped. So here we go. Hi Kathleen, hi Valentina, good morning and hello to everybody. The sun's coming out, which is surprising because it's been pouring with rain all night. Hi Lynn from Los Angeles, welcome. So I'm shuffling the cards now and I'm asking the cards to show us, the majority of us, what we need to know. Hi Snake. Yes, beautiful rain. I'm just shuffling the cards and asking the cards to show us what we need to know, the majority of us, what the majority of us need to know for this week ahead, starting Wednesday the 30th of August through to Tuesday the 5th of September. Hi Tash. So the best cards that the majority of us need will find their way to the top of the deck based on the way I choose my cards, and the best cards for this week are these. So I'm going to just lay them out here face down, so just excuse me for a second. Oh my goodness, we are full of Speed of Light Oracle cards again. We've got 6 Speed of Light Oracle and 1 Animal Kingdom. So I'm going to turn them all over today. Oh, nice. Nice start. Oh, okay. Okay, we've got 2 featured cards, so we'll honour those first. We've got the Serious Turtle. It has further instructions here which say to take the bottom card from the deck. So I'll just go back to my deck. Yes, I think this is the first time this has happened. We've got Turtle 45 with Turtle 45 because both of those cards, the turtle happened to be 45 in both decks. So that's funny. And then the other featured card is the White Tiger. This is very appropriate actually. I've just been talking about this in the current energy report. It says here, further instructions, split the deck and take the top card. So I'm just going to split the deck here and add this. This is another featured card. It's Stellar Cycle. Up here it says to take the 4th card from the top of the deck. So I'm going to pop the top of the deck back on that I split off and go down to card number 4, which is an Animal Kingdom Oracle. It's the gorilla that landed on the floor before that I didn't see. Okay, so our 7 cards have multiplied into 10. Let's just get started. Okay, so for Wednesday the 30th of August, we have the Elementals card, card 30 for the 30th. Oh, there's a lot of synchronicity happening here. Hi, Candy. So card 30 for the 30th, Elementals. It says blessings, abundance, prayers and opening. This is good things coming into our life and good things available to us if and only if we are open to receiving those good things and letting them come into our life. I really feel that abundance is all around us. And I like to use the story, the idea, the story of a man walking past our house or past our apartment or wherever we may live, and he's carrying a big sack of gold, and he represents abundance, and he's always walking past our home or where we live, or he's walking past our door. But the question is our door open to inviting the man and the abundance in, or is our door closed and the man's just walking past all these closed doors? Because we do, it's very interesting, this energy of abundance. And if we believe that there's not enough to go around, if we believe that we don't deserve good things to happen, or that all bad things always happen to us, if we have these types of beliefs that we're always or constantly saying or thinking, then we're keeping ourselves closed off or at distance from where we are now and the abundance that we could access. So what is abundance? To me, abundance can come in many forms. It can be in the form of gifts, opportunities, good health, good flow. It could be increased finances. I feel when things are abundant for me, I feel like I'm in good flow. Things are moving pretty well for me in my life. Yes, there's still challenges and obstacles I have to navigate through or navigate around, but I seem to be able to cope with them easier when I'm in an abundant state of flow. So I have to be open to allowing that state into me and into my life. And if I'm pushing it away through what I'm saying or what I believe or the lack that I keep myself in, then I'm keeping myself closed to the potential abundance that's available. So abundance is around at the moment, and it is around very, very strongly, actually. So, and especially in this card for Wednesday. So let's notice the abundance that's there, the things that are working for us in our life, and let's make sure that we're not unconsciously pushing abundance and good things away. Let's welcome them in, and let's see what happens if we're more welcoming and more open of that energy coming in. So that's for Wednesday. Now Thursday, the 31st of August, the last day of the month, we've got our double turtles, card 45, card 45. So when I'm numbering my card decks, I number the cards in order of when the artwork is created. So this deck came first, and it happened to be number 45, the turtle. And when I'd already done the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards, I realised that the other turtle in this other deck was also card 45. So they've aligned together in the actual creation of the deck. And I don't remember these two cards coming up together like this before, not for me anyway. So this is extra powerful around the turtle energy. So let's look at these cards separately first. This is Turtle Dreaming, card 45. And it says, serious, clarification, concentrate, and specific. This is the no-nonsense card. This card says, get serious now. It's time to stop playing games or stop distracting ourselves and really get serious about our dreams and get serious about the things that we're focusing on now, especially on Thursday or at this time period in our life. And he wants us especially to be focused on the message that this other turtle card says, which is slow and steady, and finding our steady pace. It feels to be a steady pace, like running the marathon instead of running the sprint. There seems to be like a longevity to the pace that we set ourselves, especially on Thursday. So if we want to go the distance, if we want to see something through, if we want to work towards a long-term goal, then we're being encouraged, very favourable on Thursday, to get really serious about this goal or about this thing and look at how we can make really steady, consistent, regular progress towards that goal or towards that thing on Thursday and for the coming weeks and months and perhaps even years for some of us, although that feels a bit excessive, but especially for the next weeks and months. There's a protective element here too with the turtle, and if you're especially drawn to turtle or there's something important happening for you on Thursday, you may want to look up Google or search turtle power animal for some general information about the turtle. But that's for Thursday. Now, Friday, the 1st of September, we have card 23 called Overlapping Worlds. It says transition, sensitivity, temporary, and adjustment. This card talks about being in between things on Friday. We might feel like we've got our foot in one world and a foot in another world, or we're foot in our old life and a foot in our new life. And we haven't quite closed the door yet, and we haven't quite stepped into the new door yet either. So we go through a period of transition when we're in between change. And probably one of the biggest examples I can give of that is when we're preparing to move home. And we might have a home that we know we're moving to, we've got an address, we've got a date, and we're packing things up. Oh, nice. And we're packing things up in our old house, and we might be, literally packing and preparing to move. Our energy is already wanting to go to the new house potentially, and yet we're still in the old while we're tying things up and preparing for the move or for the change. It's like going, if we're in a hallway, we walked out of a room and we're in a hallway as we prepare to walk into a new room or a new aspect of our life. It is a time of transition when we're in between change, and it's very unsettling. So we might find some of us on Friday that we're a bit sensitive or highly sensitive, or we might find that we're a bit uncomfortable in this transitional period as we adjust ourselves out of the old and into the new, and let things sink in and let things settle. Hi, Anne. So that's for Friday. Now, Saturday, the 2nd of September, we have card 27 called Risk Taking. Again, something I've written about in the current energy report this morning, just now actually. It says journey, unknown, beginnings, and confident. This is about taking a risk and following our heart. And Saturday seems to be a signpost or the mark of a new beginning, something that we can really step a little further into that's new is the feeling. Maybe we've broken the news to someone of our pending departure or our pending plans to close a door in our life, and maybe we're feeling freer on Saturday to be able to actually a little bit more fully embody the change and the new beginning that is before us. There is a sense here too that if you're holding back or hesitating in making changes in your life or stepping into a new beginning, that you're being encouraged to really consider taking a risk and following your heart. And what have you got to lose if you take a risk and give it a go? Sometimes too, it's like stepping out of that habit of complaining. We may complain because something is annoying us and frustrating us, and it's not working out for us anymore, but we also may fear in some ways the alternative, making the change, leaving the job, leaving the relationship, leaving the thing or closing the door on that thing. So when are we going to allow ourselves to stop complaining and give something new a go? So that sort of feeling around for Saturday. So Saturday the 2nd, an increase in confidence and this sense of new beginnings around. Are we ready now to take a risk and follow our heart into the unknown? Sunday the 3rd of September, we've got action taking, card 3 with the dolphin, and it says move on, horizon, let go, and move forward. This is about, and this is funny because this just keeps coming up, letting the sun set on old parts of our life so the sun can rise in new parts of our life now. So what is setting in your life? What doors are closing in your life to help prepare for the sun to rise on something new, or the door to open on something new for you now? We have to really be careful that we're not keeping the old door propped open with our foot, in fear of change, in fear of the unknown, in concern about hurting other people, which is never a nice thing to do. But, sometimes we've just got to do what's right for us. So if you're keeping an old door propped open with your foot and it's expired, you have to move on, then this is also favourable energy, which is aligned with a lot of the theme I've already been talking about, and definitely the theme energy around at the moment of really looking at removing our foot from the door and letting the old door close. There may be some grief involved with this as we let go of that aspect or chapter of our life that's wanting to close. But the interesting thing about closing chapters and closing doors in our life is that it's ultimately to make room for new things and a new chapter to start and a new door to open. We can't fit everything into our life that we want to do. So sometimes we have to make some tough decisions and really decide what is priority for us. What do we want to spend our time doing in our life? Do we want to still be doing this thing for another year or another 10 years or in this situation? Or is it time to move on now? So there is energy around this. There is action, there is movement with this card. And there is an enticement in some ways of the new beginning that's calling us, the new dawn that is preparing to rise in our life. There is an element of letting go too required with that card for Sunday. Monday, the 4th of September, is the Orca Whale, card 28. And it says, living your purpose. And this might be something that's quite strongly around for a lot of us at the moment, is to really decide or determine what our purpose is. And I'm not talking necessarily, for the most part, not talking about long-term goals or big pie-in-the-sky dreams. When I'm talking about purpose, I'm thinking it more in a practical way that's more supportive and beneficial and prevalent and evident in our everyday life, where we can wake up in the morning and feel excited and enthusiastic about what we might be doing today. And there is a sense of fulfillment, personal fulfillment within each day or most days as we move through them. That's where I find the real purpose and meaning is. I don't want to reach a point in my life when I look back and regret what I didn't do in my life, or that I didn't have purpose, or that I didn't live my life to the fullest, and I didn't nurture my relationships, and I didn't try my hardest and do my best. I don't ever want to reach a point where I feel that. So the way that I've determined the best way for me not to feel that now or in the future is to live each day to its fullest. And we all know that. If we've lost a loved one, we all know how precious and short life is and how fast time flies. So if you haven't been thinking about it already, then maybe give it some thought this week, and especially on Monday, about how you can create a more purposeful life, a more meaningful life for yourself. That is a daily something you can do, something you can achieve, something you can focus on, something that you can embody every day. And sure, there are going to be some days where things go out the window, but for the most part, how can you find meaning and purpose in your days? So living your purpose is living it, means living it daily, living it regularly. And what is that purpose? How can you find that for you? This will be something for you to determine. I really feel it's linked up with getting to know ourselves, because when we know who we are, when we know our values and our ethics and our truth and the things that are important to us and the things that aren't important to us, I think that helps determine what we put value in regards to our life and ourselves. And it will be based around our lifestyle, our personality, where we find ourselves in our life as well, if we're happy or not happy, if we're content or not content. And then determining from all these types of factors, where do we want our life to be? And if that's a long way off where we are now, if where we want our life to be is eons away from where we find ourselves now in our everyday life, then how can we take steps to reach that goal or that idea of how we'd like our life to be? So it's not too late to turn things around. And in fact, there is a lot of that energy around at the moment. So it's very favourable to turn things around and to really look at closing doors and starting some new things and opening some new chapters in our life. And this could be very much focused around our desire or need to create a purposeful life, so that when our life comes to an end, which it will for us all, that we don't have regrets, that we did our best and we nourished our relationships with our children, our parents, our family, our friends, our partner, as best as we could. So that's for Monday, but it's very much the energy around at the moment. Okay, now the fun, juicy day, Tuesday, the 5th of September. We've got these three cards for Tuesday. So they've come up together for a reason. I'm going to look at them separately first, then we'll look at their relationship together. So we'll start with the White Tiger. This is very strong right now. And again, I've just been writing about this in the current energy report. Hi, Elizabeth. It's card 48, the White Tiger. And it says schedule, routine, adjustment, and management. This is about how we spend our time. So really looking at our priorities, our routine, our schedule, and making sure the time that we spend doing whatever we do or don't do, that it's aligned with our priorities and that we are in tune and aware and managing our time as well as we could be. So I find probably once a month, if I'm not going through anything major, at least once a month I'm looking at my priorities. And I'm usually making two lists in my journal. What do I want my priorities to be? And I order those in order of priority. So top priority, so I'll list them 1, 2, 3, 4, down to usually I have about 7 things on my priority list roughly. So what do I want? What should my priorities be at this time? And then I make a second list and I really try and objectively look at my general life at the time. What actually are my priorities? What am I spending the most time doing? And I'll look at that list. Now, it could be things that are taking up a lot of headspace, things I might be worried about or a bit stressed about. They might bump up on my priority list of actual priorities because they're taking a lot of airtime. So I will look at airtime, not just physical time that I'm spending doing things, because airtime takes up physical time. So I look at my priority list, my actual list of how my priorities are looking in my life, and then I compare them. And typically things are not aligned up. What I want to be priority 1 might be actually be priority 3 because some other things have bumped up. So that there may be a good reason for that, but there may not. So I've got to bump things down. I've got to look at adjusting my priorities and how I'm spending my time so that how my actual priorities are playing out in my life match what I want my priorities to be. And being able to pick and choose and know what I want my priorities to be because I know myself and I know what I need to do and I know what's most important. So determining that I find very, very valuable. So this card's about our priorities. It's about how we spend our time. It's about looking at things like procrastination, time wasting, doing things unnecessarily as well. So that's the White Tiger. And it's come up with the Stellar Cycle, which is a timing card. This talks about the long term. It talks about 1 year. So we're looking at the long term now. So our long-term priorities, our long-term plan for our schedule. And the gorilla comes up with these two cards, card 9. And it says to do the right thing. So do the right thing, aligned with our truth, aligned with our priorities, aligned with what's important to us. If we don't know what those things are, then that's certainly something perhaps to essentially look at this week in a real essential way. So as a top priority, what are those things that are important to us? The gorilla is also very fixed. So it's like a mountain. It feels a bit stubborn. He feels a bit aggressive or assertive, hopefully not too aggressive, but certainly assertive and strong within himself. He's like a mountain. He's fixed in what he wants and the path he wants to take. And sometimes this is required of us. Sometimes we need to be cold and fixed in regards to where we're going or what we want for our future. So these three cards together, let's look at our time, the way we spend our time, our schedule, our routine, our priorities, especially our plan for the long term. So a lot of us are looking at our plan for next year and our plan for the rest of the year, where some of us are tying things up as 2023 comes to an end and 2024 is opening up now for, okay, what are we going to hold and do in with our time for 2024? So this is a part of that. So what do we want to do for the long term with our schedule? It's good to look at these things now, especially on Tuesday. And then once we determine what we need to do, there is a sense that we might need to be a bit fixed or held or assertive or cold or stubborn, fixed, fixed in our attitude about that plan. So there might be people that try and talk us out of it because they don't like the changes that we want to make, because maybe they don't want us to go, or they don't want to see the changes that whatever we want to do will bring into place. But we've got to be fixed, and we've got to be confident in our decision for our long term, and that maybe there are things that we're closing or need to close this week or at the rest of the year as it ties up, that we don't have room for next year, and we can't do everything. So we may need to be fixed and firm about what we need to do for next year and what we can or can't fit into our schedule, basically. So this is around at the moment, this energy. So see how you go. They're our cards for this week. I'm going to pull a theme card in just a moment. Before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please interact. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love if you're watching on Facebook. Please comment. Please share if you're inspired to. Please come back and connect with the video throughout the week to get your bearings. And if you'd like to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. So if you'd like to learn more about my cards that I created, my earrings and artwork and meditations and books and lots of other things and resources I've made over the last 18 plus years, actually getting close to 19 now since I started Temple of Balance, then please visit templeofbalance.com.au. If you get a lot out of my work or my videos and you haven't supported for a while or ever, then please have a look on my website and see if there's anything you can purchase there, because I'm here because of your purchase and support of my work. So please consider supporting it by browsing my website and seeing if there's anything that speaks to you. You can learn more at templeofbalance.com.au. All right, let's find the juicy theme card for this week. So the best card for the theme, which will help bring this whole week together and help us see the bigger picture for this week. I'm looking for the theme card for Wednesday the 30th of August through to Tuesday the 5th of September. And the best theme card for the majority of us is this. It's another Speed of Light Oracle card, and it's Expression card 31. It says communication, listen, share, deliver, and trust. Interesting. Trust is very much highlighted as we learn how to trust more in ourselves. Whether we trust in others or not, that's up to us, but that's not really the crux, to me anyway, of what trust is about. Like, the real power in our ability to trust is not whether we can trust others or not. We can determine that at the time of meeting or connecting with someone or observing someone's actions or behaviours, and whether they match their truth or not, or whether they've been honest or not. That's something we can just determine in the moment. But the real strength of trust, the real power in trust, comes from our ability to trust in ourselves. As we close doors, as we open doors, as we make decisions in our life, as we trust in where we are in our life perhaps, or trust we're going in the right direction, trust that we need to make this decision right now, or that we don't really know why, but this door needs to close right now. And we can trust in the bigger picture and the things that are playing out and will play out and are playing out behind the scenes that will be revealed to us at some point. So trusting in ourselves feels very important this week. There's also a highlight in this card around communication and expressing ourselves. So there might be things that we need to say, things that we need to speak up about this week. We may need to break the ice. We may need to tell others our plans, for example. We may need to set things into place through communication or expression. We may need to look at how we can increase and improve our communication with ourselves. Are we asking ourselves questions and listening for the answer, the true, honest answer? We can get to know ourselves best through communicating and listening to ourselves. and also noticing how we communicate with others. This is a great way to get to know ourselves, is this, if this is important to you. So communications are testy. They're not easy, because it's easy to say, well, people just argue with me, so I'm just going to keep a dog or a cat around me because they don't argue and they're my family. That's easy. That's so easy. So if it's confronting to be around people, it's confronting to communicate and be challenged on the communication front. It's confronting, but it can also help us know ourselves better. It can help us communicate better too, because we're certainly not masters at communicating. So communication issues are testy, they're confronting, they're uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to be able to speak up and say what we know we have to say that we don't really want to. We may not want to hurt other people. Hopefully we don't want to, but we know what we've got to say is probably not going to go down that well. So we've just got to find the courage and trust and say what we need to say this week. So it may not be easy, that side of things, but in general there's quite a powerful week in store for us this week, and we probably find it helpful to work with these energies to as opportunities to help us grow and push forward in our life. So I trust this supports you. Thank you so much for watching and connecting, and have a great week ahead. Happy birthday, happy anniversary if you're celebrating, and I'll be back to share with you again tomorrow, actually, in the Healing List event for patrons. So I'll connect with you then. If not, I'll be back next week for the weekly guidance. Thanks so much. Thanks, Anne. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.